Hello and welcome to this special presentation of REO Opportunities by AnnieMac Worx, proudly sponsored by AnnieMac Home Mortgage for the benefits of our real estate referral partners nationally. My name is Russ Fitzpatrick. I'm the founder of AnnieMac Worx, and I think today is a public service announcement for residential real estate agents across the country that are suffering during Q1 and as we move into Q2 of 2023. Interest rates are up. The number of active listings in every market is at an epic historic low. And so many of my realtor friends across the country are struggling because they just need listings. They have tons and tons of buyers. They can't find the right homes to show. They can't find the residential properties that are listed already for the hundreds and hundreds of buyers that they have shopping. And I'm here to help. I have a lot of experience in the residential real estate space, especially as it relates to bank-owned foreclosures, which is a growing opportunity for our realtor professionals. That is my beautiful wife, Carrie. She and I have worked in the real estate industry for more than 3 decades. I've been 37 years in this industry, and I've watched a lot of ups and downs. So just as a cute little example, that was my mug back in 1986 or 87 when I started selling residential real estate for a big Prudential office in Coral Springs and Margate, Florida. And the reason I show that to you is I was a snot-nosed rookie and I didn't have any experience with REO properties, but my sales manager, a lady named Mary Goodridge, took me under her wing and kind of showed me how to make an application. I made one application to a mortgage servicer called Kislak, Kislak. Kislak Mortgage was servicing foreclosures in my market, and she helped me produce an application for Kislak that turned into 16 sales that year for me. To do 16 sales, making between $4,000 and $6,000 a piece when I was 18 years old, 19-year-old kid, was extraordinary. My father was a Fort Lauderdale police officer, and he thought certainly I was doing something nefarious to make that much money. I bought my first home before I turned 19 years old as a result of landing some REO opportunities. We're going to pay it forward today and tell you that we're facing some adversity in the market. The couples that have a death or a divorce or a financial hardship or lose their employment or have an illness in their family are facing foreclosures, and certainly not at the pandemic levels of 2007, 8, 9, and 10, but we are seeing an influx of REO listings in every state in America. My job is to find the opportunities for you as a realtor. That's what AnnieMac pays me to do, believe it or not. I host courses all over the country for AnnieMac. This is only one of about 80 different opportunities that we have for you, but I think it's a fair source of business for 2023. Today is May 17th, right? And if I teach you how to make applications for asset managers and you personally list an REO property during 2023, my bet is that you're going to show some attention, appreciation, and maybe even some loyalty for your next pre-qualification, your next pre-approval. Maybe you've heard of our cash offer program called Cash to Keys. Maybe you are a busy listing agent and you need help with the buy now, sell later strategy. Whatever the case is, this is a goodwill gesture, completely free from charge. In fact, I'm going to tell you where I get my information so you can go confirm the information. Adam Data Solutions says that U.S. foreclosure activity doubled in 2022. The rates and statistics for 2023 are very, very public. As a matter of fact, SoFi, I'm going to show you in just a minute, but all of these statistical data observations are showing tens of thousands of foreclosures per state. 1 in 4, 1 in 6, 1 in 3 houses in foreclosure in many, many states. And this is an incredible opportunity. If you go to SoFi Learn, You can see where your state ranks in the number of foreclosures. I did some research for you today because I got registered realtors from all over the country for this event. We have registered realtors from Chicago. And I wanted to show my friends from Chicago that on July 10th, July 18th, and June 7th, there are three properties that are going to be sold, bank owned, foreclosure in Cook County. The green dots on the side of your screen show you where all the pending foreclosures are in that market. And we didn't even go outside of Chicago. I mean, we just went to Chicago and did a quick search, and we got, I think, 35 properties. You go into a little area like Virginia, this is Ashburn, Virginia, 6, 7, 8, 900,000 dollar homes that are going into foreclosure that need a listing agent to get them sold. And they do list these properties with residential real estate professionals. That's what asset managers do. In Sarasota, Florida, I have a friend that's looking to relocate to Sarasota. Well, Bentry Road looked like a pretty, Bentry Boulevard, excuse me, Spearman Circle, Prudence Drive. These are all homes that are facing foreclosures in the $3 and $4 and $500,000 price range, even all the way down to Northport. And if you scanned the counties of Fort Myers and Marco Island and Sarasota down there, you'll see there's tons of foreclosures. I did get some registered realtors doing business in central and northern Ohio. I just did a quick search to show you how relevant this is in Chicago, in Sarasota, in Virginia, where I have registered realtors today for it, in Cleveland. One last glimpse here. I know some realtors from Austin are on today. And one of my favorite music cities in the world. I love Nashville, I love Memphis, I love New Orleans, but I love Austin. The singer-songwriter groups that come out of there lately have just been blowing me away. You've got Austin, Texas foreclosures from $300,000 to $900,000 that are ready for a listing agent. Hot, hot, hot. What do these banks do with these bank-owned foreclosures when they buy them back at auction? Because that's what happens 95% of the time, is that the first mortgage holder purchases the home back at the county auction. Once it's purchased and it's owned by the mortgage holder, they might turn to Goodman Dean. They might turn to asset valuation and marketing. They might turn to a Brighton or a Dakota. These asset managers across the country do list these homes with residential real estate professionals. So as you think about companies like American Homeowner Preservation, Asset Valuation and Marketing, ResNet, and Goodman Dean, you're starting to see that there's an industry inside of our industry, right? There's an industry of asset managers that dispose of these properties with residential real estate professionals. Almost all of them that I know of pay a 6% commission. They typically waive the transaction fee. I've experienced that. But to pay a 6% commission in 2023 residential real estate, these asset managers are looking for speed, expedite, service. You need to have a little bit of financial capacity to pay for a roof leak if that comes up, or secure an uncovered pool. And there's some learning that you're going to have to do to get where I got back in 1986, right? Where a sales manager took me under her wing. She wrote a letter of recommendation to the asset manager, and she had some credibility as the prudential real estate manager to say this is a competent, young, hungry professional realtor who is ready to work. But asset managers are only one part of the REO opportunity. And I want to share with you the most effective sentence that you can say to a family that's facing foreclosure. And there is a trick in here that we've learned over the past 37 years that we'd never bring up the word foreclosure. There's no reason to embarrass or humiliate the family facing foreclosure. Instead, I want you to put your conventional residential real estate hat on and say to that homeowner in person, hey, we just sold the house around the corner. I can sell your house for the highest price if you can close before August 2023. Is there any chance here? It's May 15th, May 17th. If you gave me all of June and all of July, would you consider maybe selling this house before August 2023 is over? I got kids out of school. I got demand for the house. I've got families relocating all over this summer. And the truth is that I can put capital in your pocket if you are willing to close before August 2023. Now, that is a miracle for someone facing foreclosure, that a realtor just happened to knock on their door and just said, I could sell your house for the highest price if you can close in the next 2 months. And then what happens for me is they confide in me that they are facing some financial difficulty a lot of times right at that front door. They confide in me that they've faced some hardship. And we have high demand for families that want your house. And we have, in many of these foreclosures, the great surprise for me is when I see 40,000 equity in the house, or I see 20,000 equity in the house, or I see 60,000 equity in the house. Sometimes I've got to go down to the courthouse and apply for an extension, prove to the judge that we're trying actively to sell it to help this family avoid foreclosure. Sometimes I have to go down to the courthouse and file for an extension of 60, 90 days to give me a chance to retail this house out and save this family from foreclosure. And the judges are typically extraordinarily helpful to realtors and to the homeowners that are facing foreclosures. A foreclosure hurts the entire community. A retail sale helps the entire community. And the judge knows that if this consumer is actively listed for sale and the realtor says, just give me another 60 days, I can get this sold and closed, he can avoid foreclosure, costly, government and county court time, effort, and money will be wasted if it goes into foreclosure, but possibly you can go right down to the courthouse and ask for an extension. If you don't know how to do that, talk to one of your title vendors in town. They probably have an extension request form. I can have one for you if you need it. But I want to talk about this for just a little bit longer. These list pendants notifications, these notices of foreclosure, the best way to hit them is a direct message on Facebook. It takes a little bit of spy work. You got to find the address, find the family's name, find the family's first name, learn who they are, check Facebook and see if they're available on social media. If they are, I want you to leverage the power of video. Shoot a short 90-second script that says, hi, my name is Russ Fitzpatrick. I'm a realtor here at Dump Dump Dump. I have a number of families that are shopping in your neighborhood right now. As a matter of fact, we just sold a home not far from yours. And the reason I'm reaching out to you is to tell you that I can sell your house for an enormous price and put a lot of money in your pocket. If there's any chance you could close before August of 2023, we can help you get this house sold. If they don't respond to the video or the direct message on Facebook, certainly you could turn to telephone, door knocking, or sending texts. My favorite methodology in 2023, big surprise to everybody, drum roll please, direct mail, hand addressed, pays huge dividends, thank you very much. Snail mail, yes sir, snail mail, still paying huge dividends in listing acquisition with a handwritten note and a self-stamped envelope, meaning it doesn't look like it's a piece of bulk mail. It's actually a hand-addressed envelope to them that says, I can sell your house for the highest price if you can close by August 2023. If you like the proven letter template, the direct message template, or the video script, you can click on that QR code. There's no cost for anything we do. We're sponsored entirely by a mortgage bank. The mortgage bank wants to build a long-term sustainable relationship with you as a real estate agent, and that's why we do Agents in Action. You can sign up at worxsignup.com, Agents in Action. That's worxsignup.com/agents in action, or you can just click on that QR code there. It'll take you to the same place. We're going to give you the proven letter template that's working in snail mail with a hand addressed envelope to take listings. We're going to give you the DM message and video script so that you can reach out to these sellers. Let's get back to asset management for just a minute. We're going to give you a free list of asset managers that all have little tweaky quirks about how they take their applications, what they want in their applications. So I can't do a deep dive tutorial, but suffice to say, when we give you an asset manager application portal, you push on the application button. It says join our vendor network. Click on join our vendor network and complete the online application. Now I'm going to tell you with no uncertain terms that if you do not dot your I's, cross your T's, and make sure that your application is absolutely clean, crisp, and accurate, it will be discarded. So you need to really put your best foot forward. Think of it like an academic pursuit. You've got to make that professor, you've got to make that teacher feel like you've put your best foot forward, or you're going to get a bad grade. I want to make sure that you know that these online applications are vital in the image that you project to these asset managers. I will help you, I will support you, and I will supply the asset managers list. And just to give you a little bit of a roadmap, there's two pieces to this puzzle. What does an REO asset manager use to define a good realtor? The first thing is personal referrals and good reputation. Second would be that you have some experience in residential real estate. He wants to know that you have a we, not just an I. It's a we. I have roofers, I have attorneys, I have title companies, I have repairmen, I have locksmiths, I have an adequate staff to get all my work done. I'm very willing to work. When you ask me for something, I provide it fast and accurately and efficiently. And I have the opportunity to scale to keep up with your inventory and demand. And the word scalability is important. And I want you to maybe put in quotes, financial capacity, right? They may ask you if you have enough money to sustain a roof repair until they can refund you 30, 60, 90 days later. And that is true, guys. Some asset managers will pay you when it funds. Some asset managers will refund you within 30 days. But I've had some asset managers not refund invoices for 3 months. They eventually came around and did it. I never, to my knowledge, got stiffed, but you follow the rules, you submit your invoice, and it still takes them 30, 60 days to get the return money to you. Well, that could sting a little bit if you're someone who's living paycheck to paycheck. So they want to make sure that you have the financial capacity to carry, $6, $8, $10, $12, $15,000 worth of repairs. If you don't have the financial capacity, you can partner with a financially well-heeled realtor in your office, and maybe you could partner on the first few to get over the hump. But financial capacity is a concern. Number 9, they like to know that you seek primary residence purchases, not just dumping them to wholesale investors, and that you have a pretty adequate digital and potentially a print advertising marketing procedure for your listings. So my advice to you on the far right in the rectangle, our asset manager portals that I'm going to share with you, my recommendation is to make 2 applications per week for about 20 weeks to get through the 40 asset managers. Add letters of recommendation to each one. If you have a broker owner, sales manager, maybe a local attorney, title partner that would write a letter of recommendation for you, I think that would add credence to your application. And start to attend live and online conferences for REO and get yourself an REO mentor. Think about somebody who's doing well in REO, potentially in a different part of the country, and ask them if you can create sort of an alliance with them You could share your asset managers that you win with them, and they could share their asset managers and letter of recommendation with you. Um, Last but not least, pending notice of foreclosure, we want you to visit them. If somebody's facing foreclosure, don't mention the foreclosure. Focus on equity. Focus on the fact that they have money left in the house and let them tell you if they don't. Focus on speed. I can get you out of this house by the end of July. Here we are, May 17th, and we could certainly sell and close this house before the end of July. Start thinking about DMing uh, through social media, calling them on the phone, and don't forget to leverage the power of video, sending 30, 60, 90-second videos to the seller that's facing foreclosure, puts a face with the name, makes them feel more comfortable that you are not a predatory vendor. And as a last resort, I will tell you my favorite prospecting sentence since 1986, and certainly more powerful today than ever. If I could, would you? If I could sell your home, liquidate this asset, and put some money in your pocket between now and the end of July, would you at least consider taking a look at getting this house sold? So the proverbial if I could, would you is usually the last resort. Like they've said no to everything, and then you just throw an if I could, would you at them. And I will be honest with you, at the end of a prospecting sequence, when we've gone through all objection handling techniques and I'm still not getting anywhere, I might, for lack of patience, say, ma'am, can I just ask you a question? Would you rather let your house go into foreclosure than to take the 10 or 15 or $20,000? I mean, you could live here for free for 2 or 3 months, and then I could still get you some equity out of this house, I think. So I can even file an extension to give you more months that you can live in this house. But eventually you're going to have to move out. Wouldn't you rather move out with 10 grand in cash in your pocket, or 20 or 30 or 40, than just ignore it? Because if I've exhausted all of the polite conversations, all of the last resorts, focusing on equity, focusing on speed, if I could, would you, and they still are not open, then they're guilty of what we call the ostrich complex, right? They're just putting their head in the sand and avoiding it. So without being rude or obnoxious or anything, I might just find a new way to come at the prospect to reason with them. So for a free list of our asset managers, simply scan the QR code. You'll get letter template, you'll get script, dialogue, video, script, you'll get asset manager portals, and we are thrilled to do this on behalf of AnnieMac Home Mortgage, because our success as a mortgage company is clearly defined by your success as a real estate agent. So if you're out there taking more listings and selling more homes, we're all doing better. If you don't have the ability to scan the QR code on your screen, maybe you're on your phone or a tablet and you just can't scan it, go to www.worxsignup.com/agents in action. That will release all of the materials, asset managers, letter templates, everything you need to get started making applications in our portals for asset managers. And I think you should be prospecting those equity rich sellers that are facing foreclosure, because it is an absolute heartbreak to watch somebody go in foreclosure when they don't need to. My name is Russ Fitzpatrick. It is a pleasure and a privilege to serve you in any way that I can on behalf of the AnnieMac Nation and all of the mortgage professionals across the country with AnnieMac Home Mortgage. And I will see you at the closing table.